All right, let's jump into it, shall we? Bant, Eldrazi, Bant, Squidbillies, whatever you want to call it. We don't have a ton new in this deck. One thing that might be a consideration, I didn't swap the Stony Silence in the sideboard to Collector Oath, which may or may not be a mistake because Collector Oath does play a little bit better with Thalia. The big upgrade to this deck, big might be a stretch, but the upgrade to this deck from the new format is we have 4 copies of Prismatic Vista here, which is a fetch land that notably gets any basic. And the reason why this is a relevant upgrade is this deck's effectively always been a 4-color deck, right? Like, it's Bant plus colorless, which is basically a color with these cards. And Waste is considered a basic land, so this is the first time a fetch land has existed in Modern that gets untapped Waste. So, like, obviously Evolving Wild gets a tapped Waste for the, but Jeff, actually Evolving Wilds, no, shut up, you know Evolving Wilds isn't playable. So Prismatic Vista is the first playable fetch land in Modern that fetches a basic Waste. So this is a nice 4-color fetch land for us, so that's sweet. What results do I expect with this deck? I never expect to do better than 3 and 2 with a deck because Magic's a game with an incredible amount of variance. I think this archetype in general is very reasonable. It's got a lot of good and powerful tools. Rest in Peace and Grafdigger's Cage are both great. Ancient Stirrings is busted. Fast Thought-Knot Seer is wonderful. So this is not a deck I'm surprised when we 3 and 2 with it. But again, Magic's got a lot of variance, so you don't always expect to do well. Robin! Thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. And Gnome! Let's get you a sword to go for that. Go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. One of the fun upsides to the fact that they merged these leagues is we're probably incidentally going to collect. We're probably incidentally going to end up collecting format points. So I might actually end up playing in the modern quarterly events if we collect enough to play in them. What do I think of the new prize/league structure? Is it favorable? I don't know. Personally, like, my goal isn't to... So competitive and friendly leagues don't exist anymore. I assume in large part due to the fact that the Moto player population is declining. So they've merged. There's just $10 leagues now for standard and modern. So everybody's in the same queue. Anything fun for Tron in this set? Was there any Tron cards in this set? I'm trying to think now. I'm not sure that there were. I don't know that there's really a whole lot to say about it. I personally don't have a lot to say about the Netflix thing. A little tagline. Anything that promotes Magic to a larger audience is good as basically the TLDR on my feelings about, like, the Netflix show. Teamer, eh? Into a Tarmogoofy. I think I'm going to go Path in the Thalia here. So I'm pathing now as opposed to during their upkeep because Thalia is symmetrical. So I'd prefer to be able to cast my path. I'm leading on Thalia over the Eldrazi Displacer because both of these died to Lightning Bolt, and I'd rather Eldrazi Displacer live than Thalia live. Evening, Jack. It is a phenomenal idea, Jin. I agree. Magic's one of the best games ever created, and any way, shape, or form that it can reach new audiences can only be a good thing. Eldrazi Temple. Any consideration to fetch basic planes? Nah, I think they're pretty unlikely to be on the Blood Moon on us. Like, it would cut them off of a color too. Afternoon, Draco. Yeah, everything other than the MPL, WotC's been doing pretty good work with. MPL hot mess aside, they've been doing good stuff. I agree. Narset, Parter of Veils, sure. Does my deck draw any extra cards? Does my deck draw any extra cards? It doesn't, right? Just like actual nothing. So the reason why I'm asking myself that question is because my deck doesn't draw any extra cards. That means I want to attack this Thalia into the Narset and the Displacer into them, because the Narset on 1 versus the Narset being dead is like about the same if I don't plan on drawing any extra cards here. So I'll get my extra point of damage into their dome. In Standard, you usually want to spend the extra damage on the Narset, because like they could have something like, say, Sarkhan to make it a Planeswalker later, but while they could obviously have 5-mana Sarkhan in this format, like it's less likely than it is in Standard. Yep. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Bob, I'm sure they're aware that I say nice things about them too. It's just that the conversation I had made it feel like it was pretty clear that like it couldn't just be nice things when nice things are deserved. It had to not be negative things on top of it. Would you like to trade? Think you kill Narset, they could potentially be on Days Undoing or Puzzle Box. Yeah, maybe. I guess they could be being cheeky. Hey, blue-red deck, meet my 5/5. I miss the days when I could add someone as a moderator with a single click, instead of having to, like, type their name in. Ooh, that's exciting. Now, I could get, like, Cryptic commanded here, and that would feel a little bad. Nope, just a concession. Got it. Nice, Pythrion. Find that I'm getting a lot of lost stuff back recently then, huh? Alright, so they are a Tarmogoyf deck, which probably means Path is worthwhile. Any kind of mid-range grindy deck, Thragtusk is usually pretty good. Tireless Tracker too. One of the nice upsides from these Prismatic Vistas is that we have enough fetch lands to make Tireless Tracker potentially playable. So we're going to go ahead and bring that in here. What do I want to trim is the question. Probably don't need engineered explosives. Can also probably stomach trimming some Noble Hierarchs. I think this is fine. Maybe I'm supposed to bring in the Knights of Autumn to, like, hedge Blood Moon. Although, leaving in engineered explosives might be better in terms of hedging Blood Moon. In fact, I could maybe even leave these in and trim some paths. To go down all the nobles. Like, I'm on 24 lands and my curve's a little bit high, but like Ancient Strings is like another virtual land, right? A big toe. Thanks for the 3 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Ha, nice. Yeah, Dant. I was basically unable to find key cards. In fact, the reason why we're not playing Infect and Red Green Ren tonight is I still couldn't find cards for those. So Magic Online, to put my liability hat back on for a moment. Wizards of the Coast makes Magic Online do this incredibly stupid pre-release thing. Instead of just, like, letting people have the cards. So just, like, there's, like, literally isn't stock available to be able to purchase a lot of this stuff for a little while. Because you can only get cards by playing events, basically. Reality Smusher. So I have to think here. So this is obviously my blue source in this hand. The question then becomes, do I think I'm going to want to path to exile something on 2? Because if I think I want to path to exile a turn 2 play, I definitely want to play this. I think I'm going to play the Vista. I think it's pretty unlikely that I want to. And playing the Vista out aggressively means if I draw, like, another fetch land next turn, I can, like, have 2 fetches to, like, fetch in response to a Blood Moon. Thalia, A. So, I think I actually want to just pass the turn here, because if my opponent has Lightning Bolt on tap Blood Moon, I get kind of screwed. And by waiting, I can soft stub a Blood Moon, which is nice. Again, because this is fetching an untapped basic, I'm just waiting to crack it, because, like, should I draw Basic Island, this can then get a different basic, which insulates me against Blood Moon better. Alright, so now I guess I'm playing Thalia. You couldn't find Scale Up yet. Actually, it's funny. The Infect deck, I couldn't... They were out of stock on Ink Moth Nexuses. Was actually what was missing this evening when I went to look, or this afternoon when I went to look. I would like the record to reflect that I still have relatively close to 20/20 vision, and the glasses are for eye strain more than anything. So I drew another blue source here, which means I'm actually going to get a basic Plains here, because I have two paths in my hand, sorry, that I would like to be able to cast under a Blood Moon, ideally. Get, like, Mana Leak didn't feel bad here. Just Remand, deal. Would love to draw a Cavern of Souls. The fact that they don't have Cryptic mana yet is very good for us. This resolving with Stubborn Denial in our hand means we're pretty likely to just run them down with it. I don't think so, Pythrion. Like, they had Tarmogoyf game 1. We just pathed it right away in case you missed it. Yeah, the Felix brand glasses, you can get their blue light filtering lenses with your prescription in them. So we're gonna order Christy a pair, because she's been having some headaches after work, and they're probably eye strain related. Evening, Lebo. Ancient Tomb that doesn't deal damage to me is, like, pretty good. Alright, what do you got? Choose 7, exile, choose... I don't want to take this by mistake. Sacrifice this, choose up to 7 face-up exiled cards you own. Exile all the cards you library, put the chosen cards on top of your library. Alright, so opponent's, like, playing a meme, basically. I'm gonna just take the Snapcaster Mage here. I guess I could take the Harvest Pyre. Harvest Pyre, like, is their way to kill Smasher. I'm gonna take the Pyre, actually. They want to exile their deck to win with Jace. That makes sense. That's cute. I mean, they are technically a combo deck then, huh? So they could have, if they hit their land here, they could snap this Flame Slash, but they didn't, so they're dead. Alright, onward, upward, backward, forward. It is Scholar. I didn't want to put more deck names in the title because there's no... I don't have any guarantees for what cards I'm going to be able to get. So, we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling and what the viewer count looks like and who all is hanging out. I'm probably going to do more than 2 decks. What I do after Blue-Red Tempo is going to be dictated by what's in stock. Medium-ish luck getting cards today. I had to buy a couple Archmage Charms, but at least those are much cheaper than, like, Force of Negations. The opponent was playing, like, they had Tarmogoyf in the first game, lost Lurgoyf. So probably some kind of, like, teamer mid-range weird combo thing. Do I need to rope it here? Am I getting Temple Garden here? Yeah, this'll fetch Temple Garden. And then this gets Basic Waste, so that I have all 4 of my colors. Eldrazi Temple, you say? Eldrazi Displacer, you say? So, like, I'm gonna be sad if they go, you know, 3rd Tron piece Karn, but definitely think I'm supposed to just play this here. Oh, yeah! Every time your opponent goes Tronland Island, you just, like, do a little dance on the inside. Do a little dance. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And, like, I know I have the Stubborn Denial that could, like, theoretically fight a counterspell at some point, but, like, I have another fatty to follow this up, so we're definitely just, like, en route to the Space Jam here. It's like, crush, crush, crush. You thirsty, opponent? You thirsty? Even Land Ugin doesn't do it here. If they have, like, Oblivion Stone in their deck, that could do it if they have Tron Oblivion Stone, but... outside of O-Stone, we're in, like, a pretty okay spot here. I guess a Platinum Angel wouldn't be stellar for us. Ants! Thank you for the 7 months of support. I hope life's treating you well. Yeah, it's good. It's good to do weekends on occasion, too. Like, get some people in here that normally can't watch. The Legacy Guy! Thank you for the 9 months of support. Hope life's treating you well. I think I want to hold up Stubborn Denial here, because, like, I get to have them dead on board, basically. So I'll get to just blink this, which means I get to hit Karn for 3, then hit them for 5. This attacks... No, this is fine, right? Because this puts them to 7, so they're dead on board. Yeah, they're dead on board still, so this is fine. They're dead on board, and I have Stubborn Denial up. Now, and a way to tap a blocker. Crimson, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. All right, so Sans a Platinum Angel. We should be good here. Sundering Titan. Yeah, friendo. Yeah, that one gets the fat stubby D. Gets the fat stubby D. It rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. Hose that Ugin right on off. So obviously the down tick on Ugin doesn't do anything, but the plus would Lightning Bolt the Displacer, which would be bad news bears. So we'll counter their spell and kill them, you know. The huge. Counter your spell, kill you, the huge. I think these are definitely coming out. I think Path probably comes out. I think this is probably like a Knight Deputy matchup. They tend to not have like real removal in their deck. Stony Silence stops a variety of their things, like their talismans and their mind whatevers. Like this stops, this kills a few other things, this exiles some stuff. I think this is good. Sometimes they have like scary things like Wormcoil, but like I have Deputy, I have Knight to a degree, I have Displacer and Drowner of Hope to like buy us time. I don't think they're quite controlling enough that I want Tireless Tracker. Like I think this is mostly for like the mid-range matchups. Like if this match goes super long, the opponent's probably pretty favored. So I don't think I want this angle. Sometimes people ask about bringing in something like Rest in Peace in this matchup because they do tend to Mindslaver lock you, but I think I'd much rather just have like Stony Silence and Stubborn Denial from that access and like keep the rest of my deck attacking. I mean, sometimes Blue Tron plays cards that like normal Tron plays, and then their deck is fine, right? So like normal Tron plays cards that are good in this format. Seems like a little bit awkward. It really wants to draw like a fetch land or a green source on one, but like Cavern on Human for Noble is like not the end of the world into a turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer. Ideally, I would like to put this Cavern on Eldrazi, obviously, so I can have uncounterable Thought-Knot Seer on 2, but this hand is definitely in the range of keepable. Green source. Green source. Here we go. Here we go again. Here we go again. Oh, that's true. That's true. On turn 2, if I played a different green source, I would not be able to have this anyways, because I wouldn't have a Cavern in play. My opponent has kept a 1-lander. Welcome to Thunderdome. Enjoy your stay. Turn 2, Thought-Knot Seer. Turn 3, Reality Smusher. Yeah! Yeah! Eldrazi Temple concede. Delicious. Delicious. Nummy, nummy, nummy. I got Eldrazi in my tummy, and they're running down my opponents. Do 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 do. For those that are dropping in, you'll notice I've got the glasses command updated. So, been happy with the sponsor-provided Felix blue light filtering glasses is the correct term. We're actually going to be ordering Christy a pair, I think. Seem to be working well. Why does our Finding a League window look like it's from Windows 7? Like, look, that's really rude to Windows 7, Morrow. I know you kids might not remember it, but this Finding an Opponent window very clearly looks like Windows XP. Don't insult Windows 7 by saying that this prompt looks like Windows 7. That window is straight out of Windows XP. Ain't nobody got time to pretend otherwise. Alright, so this is fetching basic island, so I'm going to fetch in case I need to soft stub on one, and this will fetch Temple Guard, and we'll have all 4 colors. Do we know if they have any odd interaction with color blindness? I don't know that for a fact. Azumay, I'd encourage you to do a little bit of reading on their site, or maybe do a Google for an independent thing. I personally am not colorblind, so I don't know that I have a good... Oh no! Oh no! The good news is, if we just activated their trap card, I get to give them a stubby D here. Trap me, daddy. Trap me. Alright. Hoping for a Thought-Knot Seer next turn here. Or a Smusher. Gosh, maybe not pathing here was greedy. Maybe not pathing here was greedy. Well, you can feel free to submit the form, Zero, and I will be happy to respond letting you know if I feel like it's dumb or not. I'll be nicer than that in the email back, I promise. But that's effectively what I'll be telling you. Hey, Dwyer. Well, thanks. Oh, I just clicked through that. I thought we were still in damage. I guess I'm gonna upkeep path one of these. That's also true. For enough money, it doesn't matter how stupid your idea is. Accurate. There's someone that's been here a while. Wow, they had the trap earlier, or they just drew it. Feels bad, man. I don't have a particularly fast clock. It's really not chalky. We're gonna surgical extraction me for mana. We're extirpating me. Well, yep, no response. That one resolves. If they cast surgical, I was gonna stubborn it. The Weather Lady, thank you for the 7 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, as an adult who's capable of admitting when he's wrong, as someone who very much wrote a post and talked about how I wanted to see the Magic Online economy mirrored in Magic Arena, I have seen the truth, the light, and the word, and I definitely prefer the closed market system. I mean, just like anything that just like Thought-Knot Seer here is good too. I think we're dead here. We're down to 11 cards in our deck. We have nowhere near a relevant clock. Yep. Yeah, I agree, Blue Newbie. The wild card system is really elegant. It's also very smart from a business perspective. How the wild card system encourages you as you buy more cards, you're closer. So your third deck is cheaper than your second deck. So as you invest more, you're encouraged to continue to invest that extra little bit to get the next one. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that's my only complaint still about Arena system is definitely the fact that the ultimate cost of what you're buying is obfuscated from the end user. I can't tell you that building this deck costs this much money. I could say it costs about this much, or this much money gets you approximately this many wild cards, but not being able to tell the consumer you're spending this and getting this does feel bad. Yeah, I agree. They're definitely doing what the industry standard is, but the industry standard is bad, in my opinion. It should be noted that it's bad. Just because they all suck doesn't mean we shouldn't point out that they don't really suck. Yeah, I expect when the new format finally gets announced in in general, that there's going to be an incredible wave of people getting screwed and people trying to make profits off of speculating on cards they never intend to actually play. Max, thanks for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Like, I've actually already heard people grumbling about that. Like, people are like, well, if this set includes these cards, these are likely to be worth money, so I'm gonna like get these cards in advance. Just like, all right, yeah, sure. Lead on the Eldrazi Temple here, because if I'm lucker enough to hit the second Eldrazi Temple here, I want to be able to jam Thought-Knot Seer. I think I just avoid fetching for the time being. Am I playing this out? I shouldn't have shocked it. I should have just played that tapped. Because, like, so I could play this out proactively, but in addition to Hedron Crab, they also have Ensnaring Bridge, and of course they have the Crab. They also have Ensnaring Bridge and Mesmeric Orb in their deck, so, like, there's merit to, like, holding on to this for now. The downside to waiting to fetch here is that it gives them a chance to potentially mill over the lands that I could get with these. This is the type of start we want. Want to be able to get some pressure going along with a little bit of disruption. Yeah, I agree, Dwyer. Once you have your first constructed deck, if you just like play with some consistency, you very easily sustain without putting more money in. We've not played with that card yet, Weather Lady. As always, you can find everything that I've played on my website and my YouTube channel. That's pretty unfortunate. Yeah, I'm not really sure that we can win this. Like, I guess I take the Damnation because it's their way to kill my Reality Smasher, but like they get to play field and field me next turn and mill me for 6 plus keep me off of smashing them next turn. Osriz, thank you for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Welcome, welcome. I think Giver of Runes is likely pretty good in a Devoted Druid deck. Just like, play that on 1, play your Devoted Druid on 2. Like, good luck, have 2 removal spells. I think the Taxes Styles decks are likely just not good enough in Modern still. Probably waiting for my draw step, hoping that I draw my last basic. But we have 4 basics in the deck, so that's not going to happen. If they don't draw a step, field my Temple here, I get to go ahead and jam Reality Smashers. That would be nice. I have no idea why they're doing this during my upkeep. This is really bad timing. So the correct timing here, for those wondering, if they're not going to... If they're not going to field me on their turn, they should do it inside of my draw step to give me a chance to draw my last basic out of my deck. Came for Modern Kiki, stayed to watch people getting timed out, stayed longer just because. Hey, thanks for 34 months, Griffin. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Alright, so their hand is Crypt Incursion, Mission Briefing, Island, Extirpate. I'm going to go ahead and grab my Windswept Heath out of my deck here. Or sorry, my Hallowed Fountain out of my deck before it gets milled over. Go ahead and blow this up. Have a good one, Dwyer. So this is if a deck has 20 or fewer cards in it. Yeah, it's just a little bit to go on that. I would be surprised if Infect is the type of deck that wants the Mother of Ruin style effect. I would assume that they would rather just like play more threats rather than like playing a threat that needs another threat to be good. Casaroo, thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate it. Had to turn into adult for summer work 8 to 5. Sad I can't catch you live anymore. Keep up the good work. Love the YouTube. Thanks, Hider. And speaking of YouTube, something that I've foolishly never gauged before is how many of my people that are subs that watch primarily on YouTube. So if you are one of my subs, you should make sure you have email notifications turned on from people you subscribe to, because I'm going to be sending out another sub survey for the quarter later next week to learn from the people who keep me around. There was a blue-white control list on your Stream Decker, but no video for it. No, again, so like there's a reason why when I say everything we play is on my YouTube and my website, not my Stream Decker page. So Stream Decker, I frequently upload deck lists that I'm thinking about or that I'm like working on ideas with other people. Just because it's on my Stream Decker page does not mean I played it. If I played something, it's on my YouTube channel and my website. If it's not on those places, that means I didn't play it. So I don't pick and choose and like not upload things because I had a bad run. Like if I played it, it gets uploaded. What's going on, Clamster? I'm going to go ahead and concede. They've got the Crypt Incursion in their hand. Not a whole lot we can do here. That went on YouTube, Lost Lurgoyf. Everything went on YouTube. That's fair. Should have figured that out from the blue-black fake garbage fire. Yep. Yeah, listen. If there was ever a video set for me to not post to YouTube, the last Blue-Black Fairies League should prove that I don't filter and we upload everything. Does Prime subscription fall off each month? Yeah, it's 30 or 31 days. And I don't know exactly how they calculate it. If you're on the desktop computer, it should tell you when your Twitch Prime sub is up for renewal or up to be used again. Yeah, it's funny someone mentioned that they usually watch YouTube because they're in the UK. A lot of my viewers are actually in the UK because they watch in the evenings. Although I suppose if you're like someone who's a professional in the UK that watches streams mostly during the day, you can't watch my stuff because I'm not live during the UK daytime. Hey, thanks for the support, Zero. Yeah, that sounds fine. Turn 1, Forest Noble Hierarch. I think this deck's very reasonable in terms of power level, but I was infatuated with this deck for a little bit, but the more I've played with this deck, the less it's held my attention. Like the level of something that you'll often hear me refer to. I'm talking about like decks that I enjoy and like what I look to play in a format. You'll hear me refer to player agency, and like the more I've played this deck, the less player agency I feel like it provides to me. Like many decks in Modern, this deck really feels like I'm just, like, slamming my thing on the table and, like, hoping it works out. You played any Modern decks that don't feel miserable to lose with lately? Now, I don't know. I think you have to have, like, a pretty certain makeup to, like, not be miserable losing in Modern. Like, Modern's a format where, like, the losses feel real bad on average. Well, I appreciate you doing that, Automagical. Twitch Prime pays my mortgage these days. All right, well, this is the part where we take the worm coil and we clench our butt cheeks together and hope my opponent doesn't find a bomb. Hope they brick off for like 4 or 5 draws while we play this Reality Smasher and run them down. There's a reason why, like the last couple times I played Modern, like, I went and played in the Modern, yikes, rude. I went and played in the last Modern NRG tournament, and I was, what did I play? I played Elves, and playing decks like Elves is very therapeutic for me in this format, just because it's like, well, you just kind of do your thing, and you're very consistent, you do the same thing almost every game. Do I have any opinions on humans? Yeah, it's a fine deck. It's one of the best performing decks consistently in the format for a reason. So I played the Smasher here, even though they obviously have this Oblivion Stone in play, because I would like to force them to crack this Oblivion Stone essentially. Hey, Misha, thank you for the very generous tier 3 resub. I hope life's treating you well. The Boss Driver, thank you for the 8 months. I appreciate that. We'll see if they take 9 and blow the Oblivion Stone up at end of turn here. Yeah, not too surprised to see them do this. This does give me a window to play this though and check what they drew. Life is well, the Bus Driver. Blast Zone, okay. I guess we saw them get that with the map. So hoping they draw a brick or 2, we draw land, get to Smasher them. Hey, you know, Karn Liberated. You know, like I said, Modern. Not a lot of player agency, just kind of playing your dorks and smashing and hoping for the best. I'm conceding here because while the Karn doesn't beat us, the Sanctum of Ugin's going to go fetch an Ulamog and then we're dead. Stony Silence and Deputy of Detention seem reasonable. Drowner of Hope's pretty slow. I guess I board in these Knights of Autumn. I guess. Yeah, for non-Comp REL events, they told people they could go ahead and start using it ASAP if they'd like. As long as they clearly communicate to their player base how the tournaments are being run. This hand unfortunately does not have a colorless mana, but it's got like a turn 2 3/3, so here we are. Yeah, the minimum for submitting a legacy deck is $50. Basically I price the formats based on how popular they are. So like standard is 10, modern is 25, and legacy is 15. When you think about Renin 6 and Naya Landfall, I think it sounds great on paper, and if you look in the deck queue, you'll find a updated Naya Landfall list in there with 3 copies of Renin 6 in it. We'll be playing at some point when we can get copies of that card. That card's a great example of how finance sucks. That card's like $35 or $40 on Magic Online right now. And like, while that card might be playable in some things, that card is by no means a $40 card. Like, with how playable I estimate it to be, it'll almost certainly be like $10 or less before long. Okie doke. Well, opponent's got Tron on 3, water, wet, sky blue. Cast this Thought-Knot Seer. Hope I only see 1 threat. Huh. This is actually the scarier threat, right? Because I don't currently have an answer to... I don't currently have an answer to a bridge. It's not even a $40 playing card, Chucky. It's a $40 digital playing card. It's not even really a collectible. Oh, is there not a link in the queue? I might have forgotten to add it. I'll make a note and I'll add it after today's stream. Thank you for the heads up. Deckmaster didn't have, or Stream Decker didn't have Horizons in there when I added all the things. Put Naya Landfall deck in the queue. Hey Evan, thanks for the 9 months. All right, Worm Coil it is. Any chance at 3 decks? I'm definitely doing more than 2 decks tonight. I'm just not sure if we're doing more modern or standard. Whether or not we do more modern is dictated by whether or not I can find cards to play modern decks I'm interested in playing. Money's the motivation for a lot of the cards in these decks that I'm playing. People give me money to play decks with bad cards in it. Is generally how this stream works. Sorry. So because card availability will be better as we move into the next week, and what's it called? Yesterday's all-day modern stream didn't work out. Every day this week during the week, I'm going to be doing 2 modern decks to start the day. So Monday through Thursday, I'll be doing 2 modern decks every day to start things off. I still plan to do 4 or 5 standard decks, but it just means I'm going to run a little bit later. That was not what I wanted for Christmas. I think I have to actually attack Karn here. I'm going to put a stop on their draw step. So, because they let me untap with Eldrazi Displacer and Thought-Knot Seer here, I get to go ahead and, like, Thought-Knot Seer them during their draw step now, which is nice. Alright, so I want to stack this so they draw the card before I look at their hand. So they do get to draw a card here, but then I get to take the best card out of their hand. So I get to take a peekaboo here and say, oh look, you have a card liberated. I'll take that. Did that just happen? Is that really what just happened? Oh, my sweet summer child. Oh, my sweet summer child. So, for those that are newer to Magic, and perhaps my opponent might be newer to Magic, in Magic, when a card changes zones, it is considered a new instance of that card, which means in this case, when I exile and then return to play my Thought-Knot Seer, it is a new Thought-Knot Seer by the rules of the game, so it is then no longer being targeted by Karn Liberated. I want it back into the Discord, so here's $5. Welcome back, Lenny. Thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate it. Glad you enjoy the Discord server. And Vix, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate you keeping me around. This is probably getting a Blast Zone if I had to venture to guess. Yep. Just wanted support for Modern Only Days going forward. Thanks, Foodzy. I appreciate the 6 months. So, as a heads up, I know I mentioned Modern Only Days just to make sure I'm clarifying what my plans are. I'm going to be doing a little bit more Modern content through the end of the month, most likely. But getting cards midstream is kind of clunky and awkward, so I don't want to do that with like every week. So, I think my plan is to do Smasher, rats. My plan is to do 2 modern decks to start each day during the week. Yeah, the subs Discord is great. If you're into just talking about Magic, there are Magic channels for every possible topic you can think of there. And if you are interested in talking about other things with like-minded Magic players, there are, and some not like-minded Magic players, there's pretty much channels for almost everything you can think of there. I think my opponent's hand is 2 lands right now, so I am not going to blink this in response, I don't think. In fact, when you join the subs Discord server for the first time, my advice is always take 30 seconds and look at all the different channels the server has and mute the ones that aren't of interest to you, because there's a good number of things in there. Yep, they have 5 mana here, 2, 2, and 1. Probably dead from this point. Electron, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. And then, in spite of my opponent's small flub there, looks like we're just going to be dead. Tron is just an incredible favorite from board states like this. He says as his opponent plays an Ugin the Spirit Dragon. I suppose Deputy of Detention technically has that covered, huh? So if my opponent just draws Worm Coils or Bricks from here, we could be okay. If they draw a way to interact with this Deputy, I'm probably dead. Thankfully, the opponent's not playing a 48-card deck with 4 copies of Demonic Tutor, because then we'd be in trouble. That was not the Reality Smasher I wanted for Christmas. Ridiculous game state shots are a great thing to share to Discord. Smusher. Poppy Smusher. Poppy Smusher. Well, this would be a good draw if we had a fatty. Unfortunately, our board is quite thin at the moment. A very soft stubby D. Scale of 1 to dead. Where are we at here? Work with me. Work with me. Let me know. Yeah, we did it. Oh, better lucky than good, chat. Better lucky than good. Oh, let's switch it out. Oh. Every time I add in a miscellaneous evening stream, I'm like reminded of why I mostly stream during the day now. I'm much more tired at night, chat. My kids are on a very early schedule these days. Starting late. Yeah, let's keep and scry a second temple to the top. Rats. Alright, I'm gonna keep holding out. I'm gonna keep holding out hope here. Yeah, one more draw step at this second temple to give them the business here. I'm gonna get you. Gonna get you drunk off Thought-Knot Seer's humps. His humps. His lovely Eldrazi lumps. Check him out. Oh, that's not a Tron land. That's good for us. Temple! Where are you, Eldrazi Temple? Your people need you. Alright, so we just need any land next turn. Actually, I don't even technically need to hit a land to Thought-Knot Seer them, right? Because this makes a mana. General Iro, thank you for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I appreciate you keeping me around. Expedition map. That's what I like to see. Fumble the ball. Fumble the ball. All right. Still 2 turns off a Tron at a minimum. Let's attack for 3. Play this TKS. Now, the scary part is their hand isn't Tron pieces. So that means probably means it's spells, right? Yeah, them are some spells. So I have this path to exile even if I don't have white mana. So I think I'm again going to go ahead and take the Karn here because I'd prefer not to get Ensnaring Bridged at this point. So hoping to draw a white source here and play this other TKS. Ideally like a fetch or a shock like Temple Garden would be great. All right. It's like not Temple Garden, but it'll do in a pinch pig. They brought in Nature's Claim. I guess I do have 1 copy of Stony Silence. Sean, thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate you keeping me around. Welcome back. All right, so they are Dead Sea Poo to a land next turn. Just smush that reality. Mullen put 2 amalgams, 4 Nokramipas into play on turn 2, and while doing so, hit 3 creeping shells. I mean, that just nothing truly embodies modern like a turn like that. So their hand is Nature's Claim, Forest, Sanctum, and then 1 card I don't know. Land. Alright. Fire up the engines. Are we tree in 1? Are we tree in 1 just like that? Just like that, Hoaglandia. We are tree in 1. Losing to Mill 1, Bant Eldrazi 0. Good evening, Kyle. $100 power in play. Well, I mean, like, 100 power is, like, almost not impressive. It's like saying you killed them with Grishelbrand on turn 2. Like, sure, you did a full combo kill. Combo decks are kind of different than, like, actually just putting a bunch of power into play, right? And I guess Dredge is, like, arguably a combo style deck, but it doesn't do, like, a full combo kill, right? This hand is more than good. It's great. How many battered skulls is that? How many batter skulls is that? And the sweet part about this IOK here is I still have a decent turn 1 play regardless of what they do. Like either they take Noble and I play Stirrings. If they have a way to ice this Noble Hierarch, they might just take the Ancient Stirrings. Hey, the Pizza Leagues. Good to see you too. I appreciate you maintaining your prime here. Welcome back. Hope your life is treating you well on your Saturday as well. Hey, Big Mama. Thanks for that. A good note to people in general, because sometimes when I stream on these off days, I catch people live who like generally only watch on my YouTube channel. If you're one of the many people in the world who has Twitch Prime and my live schedule just doesn't line up with you, you can come and Prime sub to my channel if you enjoy my content, even the replays, even when I'm offline. And I appreciate the people that take the time to do that. Infernflow! Thank you for the 5 months. Welcome back. Yeah. Noble Hierarch's dead. Do we have another discard spell? Are my thoughts going to be seized? So I guess we start here. See where we're going. How greedy is it? How greedy is it to take the Displacer here? I mean, the answer is, like, it's greedy, but, like, is it bad? Is it bad? So, my opponent's playing, like, a fair deck, which likely means they're, like, looking to grind and go long. So I think I want to just prioritize having as many threats as possible this game, which could mean I brick on my 5th land on 5, but I think that's a worthwhile risk here. Nimble Mongoose. Oh my sweet summer child. Who told you Nimble Mongoose was modern playable? That's so adorable. Huh. Do I Skyspawner plus Noble Hierarch here? The odds of them having a removal spell are high, right? The flip side is I get to tag a Bloodbraid Elf before they can play it here. And my opponent's hand is kind of getting low, so if I don't play this turn, my opponent might be able to empty their hand of spells. So, even though the probability of this dying is high, I think it's correct to play it out here. Moose Juice! Thank you for the 10 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Get a trophy. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Get a basic forest and play out the Noble Hierarch here. Value. Yeah, remember when I said they were, like, getting into danger of not having any more spells? Sweet. It's always nice to, like, take a second and think through all your plays and then get rewarded for making the right one. Is that a shield without a sword? Let's fix that for you, J-Man Dog. Oh no! Don't attack me for 1. How will I ever recover? Please, opponent, mercy! Stop! Please, mercy! Alright, so... if 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and Skyspawner into Reality Smasher here, because the Skyspawner technically only costs 2 because it makes a Scion that I can sacrifice. So I think rather than preserve this, I'd rather just use my mana efficiently this turn and get the Smasher into play. Hey, Joyous, thanks for the 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. So there are 2 cards in their bin away from the goose being loose. It is worth noting, because of the way that I fetched, I'm unable to play and activate Displacer over the course of 2 turns. However, I can play and activate it in the same turn, which is nice. Look at my opponent's fancy new cards. So fancy. Do you know who the oldest sub is and how long they've been subbed for? I think it's Trey. And so I'm the oldest sub on my channel. So my account's been subscribed for 45 months. So I believe Trey is either 45 or 44, one of the two. Path to Exile. All right. Well, I don't really care about your 2 mana. You're automatically subscribed to your own channel for no cost, Jen. That's how Twitch works out, you having access to your own emotes. You automatically have a tier 3 sub to your own channel. This deck doesn't even have Horizon lands from the new set. This deck just has Prismatic Vistas. Yeah, and that's like, whenever people talk to me and they ask about, like, how do they start streaming full-time, I'm always like, well, you don't just, like, make a decision to start streaming full-time, right? So, like, this has been my full-time job for, like, almost a year and a half now, and my channel's been partnered for almost 4 years, and I streamed for almost a year to get partnered before that. So it's like, there's a lot, even when you have, like, tournament experience like I did to build upon, there's still a lot that goes into getting it right. And the amount of time you put into it. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. You don't decide on the opportunity decides on you. That's what some random mouth breather who was really salty about my stream was talking about how they felt I hate streaming Magic, and I've always hated streaming Magic. And I was like, well, you know, like, if streaming Magic wasn't something I liked, I probably wouldn't have done it for all those years where it, like, literally never paid me anything. So Thalia's tax isn't super relevant here. Her body's not relevant either, so I think I trimmed that. These Noble Hierarchs come out. You just buy a full playset. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Shroud's a lot worse than Hexproof. Do I want Nobles? I feel like you could maybe make an argument for bringing in Knight of Autumn here, but leaving in 2 mana dorks is probably fine. Having a little bit of acceleration is okay, especially when I'm bringing in some 5-drops here. Yeah, you know, it's funny, Jen. I watch a lot of Philip DeFranco stuff, and he had a video talking about the recent wave of interactive TV shows we've seen pop up on, like, Netflix and stuff, and they were talking about interactive media and how there's definitely a market for that. And I was like, yeah, like, I was really surprised he didn't mention Twitch, because I feel like that's the whole appeal to a lot of what occurs on Twitch, is the fact that it is an interactive segment of entertainment. A large part of why this is successful is because it's interactive. I'm going to shock this in, because if they play a Dark Confidant on 2, I want to Path to Exile it. If they play a Tarmogoyf, I'm not going to Path it, but Dark Confidant's got to go. That'll outcard me in a really rude way. This gives them access to Bloodbraid Elf a turn sooner, but it is what it is. Definitely want to spend my mana here, because I'm going to be curving out the next couple of turns, right? I'm going to have, like, Skyspawner into Thought-Knot Seer. And actually, the way our lands line up here is actually really sweet for us. So we get to go Skyspawner on 2, and then next turn we get to go Forest, play Thought-Knot Seer, and then we can go Tireless Tracker, play Plains the following turn. Just, like, really elegant curve out here. Fulminator Mage. Rude. I assume this is getting Stone Rained. And I'm actually off of colorless mana at this point, right? Which is a little awkward. This Scion's gonna be able to make a colorless mana, but I need to draw another land in order to do it long term. The Scion does add a colorless. So next turn will likely be attack for 3 again, play Thought-Knot Seer post-combat, assuming my Eldrazi Scion and stuff lives. Part of me wants to take the chat off of sub-only mode because there aren't a ton of people here since it's not a time when I normally stream. But another part of me knows that during modern streams, for whatever reason, the non-sub chat was way more hostile than during standard portions, so it's definitely not a good idea. Double Goyf, yep. Nah, definitely not worth that egg. If we were doing standard, I might do it, but that's incredibly rude. I think I'm actually stubborn denying this. So these Thought-Knot Seers are actually a little awkward at this point because they, what's the word I'm searching for? They're likely not going to take any cards out of my opponent's hand, which means I'm playing a 4-mana 4/4 that draws my opponent a card when they eventually kill it. Yeah, we're probably dead from here, honestly. I guess these Tarmogoyfs are technically smaller than the Thought-Knot Seer. Like, the Scooz is only a 4/4, but we're definitely in a pretty bad spot at the moment. Okay, alright. So you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Opponent very correctly identifying that they should attack my Scion this game after they fulminated my Eldrazi Temple. Put me far enough behind that this Thought-Knot Seer wasn't able to make inroads. And the Thought-Knot Seer is worth playing Nithagoyfs. Yeah, 10 out of 10. I'm definitely not just passing here. If I don't cast a Thought-Knot Seer, I'm just dead. And if they draw a removal spell off the top perfectly, we are just dead as well. So 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. Cold Shoulder coming in hot with the 11 months. Maybe you're coming in cold with the 11 months. At any rate, thanks for keeping me around. Happy Saturday. Alright, on to game the third. Yeah, I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. Just draw a little bit better. God, how good would Engineered Explosives have been there at the end? How's Modern going? We're currently 3-1 with Bant Eldrazi, and we're playing for our 4-1/3-2 finish. What's your favorite turn 3 Karn deck in Modern? Well, you're talking about new 4-mana Karn? Or is that just a leading question to make me say Tron? The prison deck we played the other day was surprisingly good. I had pretty low opinions of the prison deck in Modern going into that league, and both Goblin Engineer and the new 4-mana Karn felt really good in that deck. Felt like they shored up some issues that it had in the past. This hand is technically missing 2 of my 4 colors. Had to resub to say that interactive storytelling is already on Twitch as well. My brother actually writes for a live narrative show called Artificial. It's cool to see people trying new things with technology. Yeah, definitely. Awesome, Snowstorm. Yeah, make sure, so one of the things that I'm doing to plug the glasses sponsor is, so my link doesn't give you a discount for them, but what I am doing is that if you sign in with your Twitch account, when you buy the glasses like it asks you to and you click my link, you can bump a deck in the deck queue by 20 points. Yeah, we're probably dead here. All right. So you're saying there's a chance. That's all I really need is a chance. I think I'm supposed to play Skyspawner here. They're gonna like flip Lily onto the Last Hope, and I'm just gonna regret all my life decisions up until this point. But would you jump into a tournament with the prison deck yesterday? I don't know. I I think if you were someone who really liked that I think if you were someone who really liked that deck, it would be a fine deck to play in a tournament. But I don't know if the play patterns of that deck are something that I enjoy enough to play in a tournament personally. So, like, unlike a lot of the people who stream on Twitch and probably just play Magic in general, honestly, I don't profess to make decisions based on game theory optimal choices. A lot of my time spent playing Magic is this going to result in me having fun? And if the answer is no, I don't bother doing it, regardless of the tournament. Magic tournaments are incredibly high variance, regardless of the amount of prizes you're expecting. So if you're not having fun while you play, it's not really worth your time to be going. Regardless of the size of the tournament. Bant Eldrazi. Prismatic Vista was fine. I don't know that I would say it felt meaningfully better than the previous mana base that we have been playing. It definitely makes you meaningfully better against Blood Moon, which had previously been awkward in this archetype. Like I just got done talking about the prison deck, I think if casting Thought-Knot Seer and Reality Smasher really speaks to you on a primal level in Modern, I think this deck is more than reasonable to be playing, and you can go ahead and register it and have a reasonable chance at an okay time. Yeah, we went 3-2. I don't have the science behind it offhand, Pimped Up Monk. It is patented proprietary technology according to the flyers that I have. So I don't know if the full details on how it works are public, but I do know, as someone who spends long hours a day at the computer, using the glasses makes me feel the same as if I use one of the software filters that like makes my screen slightly orange. So the glasses are nice because I don't have to have all of my colors be wrong, essentially. So that is something to point out too. There are software filters that do a similar effect, but they do miscolor everything on your screen because they're actually pulling the colors that are harsh on your eyes out of what you're looking at. It is true. You asked me what I expected to do in that league, and I told you 3-2.